One of the most important aspects of a friendly contract is to define the scope and objectives of the contract clearly and concisely. This will help you and your partner to avoid misunderstandings, conflicts, and disputes later on. Here are some tips and tricks for doing this effectively. Start with the big picture. What is the overall goal or purpose of the contract? What are the main benefits and outcomes that you expect from the collaboration? Write this down in a brief and simple statement that summarizes the essence of the contract. Break down the big picture into smaller tasks or deliverables. What are the specific steps or actions that you and your partner need to take to achieve the goal? How will you measure the progress and quality of each task or deliverable? Write this down in a list or a table that outlines the scope of work for each party. Clarify the roles and responsibilities of each party. Who is responsible for what? Who has the authority to make decisions or approve changes? Who will provide the resources or support needed for each task or deliverable? Write this down in a clear and concise way that assigns accountability and avoids ambiguity. Define the timeline and milestones of the contract. When will each task or deliverable be completed? What are the deadlines or due dates for each milestone? How will you communicate and report on the status and results of each task or deliverable? Write this down in a realistic and flexible way that sets expectations and allows for adjustments if needed. Review and revise the scope and objectives of the contract. Before you finalize and sign the contract, make sure that you and your partner review and revise the scope and objectives of the contract carefully. Check for any errors, inconsistencies, gaps, or overlaps in the scope and objectives. Make sure that they are aligned with your original goal and purpose. Make any changes or corrections that are necessary to ensure clarity and accuracy. By following these tips and tricks, you can create a friendly contract that defines the scope and objectives of the contract clearly and concisely. This will help you to establish a strong foundation for a successful business negotiation and collaboration. Communication is a key skill for successful business negotiations. How you communicate with the other party can affect the outcome of your deal, as well as your relationship with them. Here are some tips on how to communicate effectively and respectfully during the negotiation process. Listen actively and acknowledge what you're hearing. Use standard active listening techniques, such as paying close attention, asking the other person to spell out exactly what they mean, and asking for a repeat if anything is unclear. This shows that you are interested in understanding their perspective and needs, and that you respect their opinions. Focus on solving the problem as partners. Rather than seeing the negotiation as a competition or a conflict, try to frame it as a collaborative effort to find a mutually beneficial solution. This can help you avoid getting defensive or aggressive, and instead foster a positive and cooperative atmosphere. Use language that emphasizes common goals, shared interests, and joint benefits, such as we, us, and our. Speak for yourself, without impugning others' motivations. When expressing your views or concerns, use I statements that reflect your own feelings and preferences, rather than making assumptions or accusations about the other party's intentions or behavior.